Fitness is you versus you. Never be satisfied. No pain, no gain. Change lies outside of your comfort zone. Don't care what others think. These are all statements that are accepted by most without a second thought. But that is the issue. Too many of us are mindlessly working, struggling, and stressing without giving it a second thought, let alone meditating on it in prayer and giving it to God. We are so fast to take the new drug or supplement, to follow the new trend, the new diet, and the trainer that says their way is the best. But we are struggling more, fatter, with more health problems, more stressed, and even if we reach our goals, we are unfulfilled. We make excuses, place blame, and beat ourselves up, but keep doing the same things over and over again. First Chronicles states that God chose the things the world considers foolish in order to shame those who think they are wise, powerless to shame those who are powerful, things despised, counting as nothing at all, and use them to bring to nothing what the world considers important. So why do we keep choosing the ways of the world if the Bible states they won't work? Because most don't even know of any other way and leave God out of the process. But what if there was another way to bring God into your health and fitness? To stop stressing and find freedom and purpose through your goals? To go from struggling with health and fitness to worshiping through health and fitness? This is Y2 Fitness. Welcome. So we are now in Luke 7. And if you know anything about Luke 7, this Roman officer made the journey to see Jesus because one of his slaves were sick. Not even one of his family, one of his slaves cared that much. But then he said, "Hey, I'm an officer. You don't need to go with me. Just say the word and he'll be saved." And Jesus was like, "Wow, I haven't seen faith like this in all of Israel." You say, you don't need to have Jesus present right there. He doesn't need to be seen. He doesn't have to show a sign. Your result is based on your response and your faith, not on what is seen or heard. Do you have that type of faith that you're going to get the result that you want? Because if you have a poor response to even a great result, you're not going to find any peace or comfort. You're not going to find any peace or comfort, and also you'll probably be causing a lot more internal damage. So many people are dieting in ways that they don't even understand. They don't even know what's really going on. They just lose the weight. They start working out more and eating less. If you were to do anything, a machine of any sorts where you pushed it harder and gave it less, what would be the outcome? If you were trying to go with, let's see here. If you were trying to take an ox and plow a field, would you feed it less and push it more? If you were trying to get pulled by dogs in the wilderness in Alaska, would you feed them less and push them more? No. Why do you do that to your own body then? It's not how it's designed to work. No, you should be raising the fuel up and then pushing it with the extra fuel. Raising the fuel up because your body needs a certain amount of calories. See, we go to 11 through 17. You got to understand, Jesus wasn't the only one that raised from the dead. We got Lazarus. We got a widow's son. We had a little girl. And they were raised from the dead. God can raise up for you from the dead. God can do so much for your situation. But you see, what happened? Great fear swept the crowd. Fear swept the crowd. People saw Jesus, saw these amazing things, and their response was fear. See, you even read the entire story. You know what all the prophets are doing. Are you acting out of fear? Are you acting out of fear with your diet and with your program that you don't want to be something? You are fear that you're going to die? You're fear that you're going to stay the same? Or are you doing it out of worship? What are you doing for the Lord to have compassion like he did for the widow's son? Are you just glorifying yourself? Or are you glorifying God? We then go to verse 26. It's talking about when you went to go see John. What were you looking for? You see, the prophets didn't look the part. Those that can help you the most won't appear like it. And most likely, they won't even make sense to you. They'll have unconventional methods. And most likely, they are going to be treating the problem, not just the problem, but the real source. The real source of it. They're going to treat your response before they treat the result. What is truly holding you back? And that's what I do with the Why Way. I look over your responses. I look over what you're currently doing, what's holding you back. Because that is how you really get the outcome. I don't just pay attention to the outcome. You can put numbers and data on that. That'll take care of itself. But you need to pay attention to your response. To figure out how you personally are responding and changing. You see, verse 33, anyone that is living right was going to be attacked. See, John the Baptist didn't spend his time eating bread and drinking wine, but they called him possessed by a demon. But then Jesus was feasting and drinking, and he's a glutton and a drunkard, and a friend of tax collectors. You see, your wisdom is going to be shown to be right by the lives who follow it. You may be doing wrong things, but what are your friends like? You may be struggling with something really bad, but if you're surrounding yourself with the right people, that's where the people will be able to see it. But if you're struggling with the sin, but you just keep running to the people that are sinning, if you're struggling with your body image and you're struggling with diets and all that other stuff, but you go to somebody that puts all their faith in these diets and put their worth in their self-image, you'll see that you don't have that wisdom. And then you can read through 36 through 50, and where Jesus is anointed by a sinful woman. But you see, those that have gone through the most won't be able to be seen as amazing. But that's because men only look at the surface. Those are the worst, and then finally turn away. That's when the real magic happens. There's no such thing as too far gone. There's no such thing as I'm just unable. Maybe you're feeling that way. Maybe you're feeling like it's just too much. You've got too much weight. You've tried it too many times. No, there's no such thing. It's just your response and your faith is just going to have to be that much greater. You see, this girl was anointed her with the expensive perfume, and she knelt and wiping the feet because she had so much in her that was being lifted out. It wasn't That offering, the physical act. No, it was the faith. It was that her faith that gave her the peace. Simon then judged her and was like, hey, why don't you just give that to the poor? Why don't you just give that to the poor? What's going on here? Well, no. Because he was doing something greater, because Jesus said something different. And it goes about saying, who then gets more forgiveness? The person that got lent 50 pieces of silver or 500? Well, the person that got 500, that the debt was canceled. So here's all these people judging on the surface, judging on what is possible and all that stuff. And if you put yourself about the surface, you're going to be lost. But no, when you truly have that right response, when you truly change, when you don't just do it just because you don't want to be a certain way, but you're really chasing the truth, that's when you have the faith. And you need to have the faith. You need to understand what you're doing, why you're doing it. If your program doesn't offer that why, I suggest run. Because everyone's going to be after you. Everyone's going to be questioning you. So you got to have that answer. When you got those answers and you can explain why to everything that you're doing in 2 sentences or less, that is when you become a why way warrior. And that is the why way.